turfs here for the big event. My kids follow him on Twitter. It's pretty cool. He's got a pretty cool Twitter page. Yeah.
Coach, what are you seeing from this pass rush?
The one coming up, really good. Obviously, you watch what they did to Eli the other night. I think Coach Marinelli does an unbelievable job of coaching effort. You see that. They move all over the place. We kind of call it spaghetti on a plate, just because you never kind of know where they're going. They do a great job penetrating. Their games are really tight, which means, one guy's in the gap and there's not a lot of space between them. So do a great job. Obviously, playing at home will be good for us. Try to keep them off balance with some of the things that we want to do, cadence-wise and things like that. But, another great challenge. I mean, just, week in and week out in this league, you're going to face a terrific unit or a terrific couple players. They certainly have both.
For fans that hear your head coach saying, well, I got my play caller off track because I called pass plays to start the second half. Can you explain that dynamic, first of all, how unusual, how common that is, and in this particular instance, how that threw you off?
Yeah, I think, obviously, again, I need to do a better job. I'll be the first to say that. Again, it's just, one of those things where, again, you get a lot of thoughts and advice as a play caller, not just from Pete, from everybody, until it's 3rd and 22 and you're backed up on your 1 yard line. You're like, hey, guys, what do you like? Hello? But again, I think some of it's me learning Pete, a little bit. And but again, it's hey, look, I get paid to call the plays. I need to do a better job. Sometimes it gets you off your game. Just again, when you're looking at different things, it's not Pete, it's just different things, and it's hard to find a rhythm sometimes. But I need to be better, and I will be.
Need to be better in what?
I think, obviously if you look at week 1, I got away from the running game a little bit too fast. This week, again, only having 6 plays, in the second or the third quarter. Again, that was just one of those deals where, not converting third downs. I mean, the cool thing that I said to the guys is this. We know what the issues are. So when you know what the issues are, you can address them. You can fix them. You can emphasize them. It's time of possession. It's third downs. It's sacks. If I was standing up there, or we as a staff are looking and saying, hey, we really don't know what the issues are, we're just struggling, that's not the case. We know what we need to clean up. We've been emphasizing that. We started last week with red zone, and we did a nice job in the red zone last week. So I think we'll find our rhythm again this week. But we know we need to be better. Nobody likes sitting here at 0-2, and we're competing to do that.
Can you kind of explain what happened with Chris and going from 4 yards a carry in the first half to not touching the ball?
Yeah, again, I think obviously when you have a rotation at backs, that happens. Again, you come out of a game with 50 whatever it is plays. You're trying to see Rashad a little bit. You want to see Chris. You saw Chris early in the game. But again, you never project, wow, we got 55 plays or 54 plays. So really it's kind of like when this guy's up, he gets a rep. And then if you go 3 and out, unfortunately, we know we're trying to get Rashad going as well. So, again, that's been an Achilles heel for 2 weeks now, is because of third down, we're just not getting the plays that we need. And quite honestly, we're keeping the defense on the field too long. And we can't do that because, obviously, that's how we're going to win as a team, playing well offensively, defensively, and special teams.
You said working with Pete, kind of, learning him a little bit. Is there any of that with Russell as well at all, or kind of figure that out?
Yeah, I think, obviously with Russ, the communication's always really clean. We don't have any issues with that. He and I work really, really well together. We're both great competitors. But I don't think so. I think, obviously, I'm new, learning these guys a little bit. It's, some game action. And, again, I think there's nothing that's out of the ordinary that goes on here. There's always commotion on the headsets, if you will. There's always commotion. There's always people talking on both sides of the ball. And, again, it gets amplified when you're not playing very well. So, again, I go back to me. I need to be better. I'll do a better job, working hard on it, and, again, excited to play Dallas this weekend.
Is there any validity to, because of the pass rushes you're facing and the pass protection issues this team's had for a few years, to just running the ball for the sake of running it, to make defenses play you honestly for tendencies purposes, to put it on film type of thing? Is there any ability to do that?
Well, I don't think to answer that question, I think obviously you need to run the football. Obviously that balance is really what makes it harder for the defense to tee off. Some of the issues are when you get into long yardage situations, like the first third down of the year. This year was Denver, 3rd and 17. I just called a simple downhill run because it was kind of like, hey, let's just move on, let's just move forward. But again, if you're not balanced, which we haven't had great balance, it definitely affects the way the defensive front plays you. And quite honestly, when you can't sustain drives, or we've been struggling to sustain drives, we've had too many 3-and-outs, they're fresh defensively. So I think what you saw late in the game, we were moving the ball, did a nice job with some of the 2-minute stuff that we were doing, and they kind of got worn down a little bit. So what happened, we were running it, we were throwing it, and the pocket got a little bit cleaner. The run game started popping a little bit because you can kind of wear them down. So it definitely helps you, for sure.
Been surprised at all by Will Dissly as a pass catcher? I know when he got drafted, the talk was blocking and all that.
Right.
For him to come in, because he's done the last 2 games.
Very impressive. Very impressive. Again, I think it's not just. I mean, we thought he could catch the ball really well, but just the way he runs with the ball after the catch is really cool. I mean, even the seam ball he caught the other night. He made the first guy miss, and I think he's got tremendous potential. But it's cool to see, just because again, you sometimes get labeled in this business, and he's certainly a much better receiver than people gave him credit for.
Is that a tough position sometimes for a rookie, because you're asking him to run block, pass protect, go catch balls?
Absolutely.
There's a lot to it.
There's no question it is. But again, great worker. I mean, great worker, great student of the game. He loves the chess match, and he's again a great communicator on game day.
How much of an adjustment will it be up front if Justin's not able to go for you and dealing with his absence?
Yeah, certainly some. Justin's playing really, really well right now. A lot of confidence in Joey. It's great to have a guy that's been here. Has gotten a lot of work. Russell has a good feel for him. The guys have a good feel for him. He's really on top of everything we're doing. So we don't change too much, but obviously Justin's a really good player. But again, Joey's had a good week of prep.
You touched on it a little bit, but I think all three of your scores were when you guys were in hurry-up mode, either at the end of the half or before that. Why do you think it works, or why do you think it worked in that case?
Again, each situation is a little different. I think, late in the game, you're going fast, you're kind of wearing people down. Certainly Russell's a handful just because he can move around and make plays. Certainly there's a point where they're playing a little bit softer too. They're trying to let the clock tick a little bit, but I think it's just one of those situations where he's got a lot of control. Talking about Russell, he's just got a really good feel. I thought CJ Prosise did a great job coming in. CJ did a nice job coming in off the bench, some of the checkdowns and stuff. But sometimes there's just a rhythm. Again, our issue is we haven't really found a great rhythm yet. There's been a handful of drives in there, but it's early. I mean, again, I told the players on Wednesday, look, we're disappointed. It's Wednesday of week 3. So we're not going to panic. We're going to work. We're going to prepare. Again, I think they understand that that's the direction that we're going.
Do you need to do things to get Russell running any more at all than he has been in any way?
Again, I think people know he has that capability, so they certainly are aware that he can do that. Sometimes it's the threat of him running that opens up. One of the runs that we had that Rashad popped was something where he's kind of holding the backside defensive end, and I can't remember which one it was, but they kind of sat there and looked at him, and the ball was able to cut back behind it. So, again, I think the fact that people know that he can do that sometimes helps. And of course, we only want him to run when he has to.
What are teams doing in their approach to getting after Russell and rushing him? Is there any kind of difference in what you've seen teams try to do against him in the past? Are they pressuring more?
No. Again, it's the same thing. Obviously they want to try to close the edges on him, and again we've had a couple really good defensive edge players the last couple weeks, and so they feel like if they can kind of condense the edges and make him move up, that helps them. But again, when you look at the pass protection issues we've had, you truly can't pinpoint it. It's not just one thing. It's been a number of different things, and so I wouldn't say they were doing anything different or anything that you're surprised by, that wow, there's some new magic formula. That's not the case. It's just again, we always haven't executed as well in certain areas, and so therefore it shows up. I mean, obviously you look at the second half, we played better in that regard. The long yardage situation certainly hurt you, because it's 3rd and 17. They got their ears pinned back, and they're kind of in that hunt mode.
In terms of tempo, is there a middle ground maybe between how you come out in the first quarter versus those late fourth quarter drives when you're going fast?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I think that's something that we talk about all the time. I mean, again, one of the issues is we like to go fast. But we think obviously that it's something that you kind of have to feel, and you have to look for your opportunities to do that. We're really good at it, in the 2-minute situation. So we always look for opportunities. A lot of it depends on who you're playing, where you're playing, the situation of the game. All those factors kind of come into play when you're kind of putting together the plan during the week, and then on game day you kind of you talk through. You have a plan going in on game day, and then you adjust if you need to.
Anything else? Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.